Be working on this suitcase today. As you can tell, it's kind of a creamy color. I am not going to paint it. I'm hoping to be able to just use it in the color that it is. So first thing is I'm just cleaning it with some cleaning wipes, just some generic wipes from the Walmart. Actually, let me move you down a little bit. So that is all I'm doing to it. It's just kind of old and ugly, but ooh, yeah, look at that. So let's clean it again. Hit it one more time. I did not send out text alerts today because it's Sunday and I always feel weird about sending out a text alert on a Sunday. I just feel like people might be sleeping, might be napping. I don't know. That's my hang up. So anyhoozle, I did not send out any text alerts. Pro tip, do not clean these with a baby wipe if you're going to put transfers on, which I am. So, because transfers do not stick well to something that's been cleaned with a baby wipe, because there's, usually some type of aloe vera lotiony type stuff in there, and yeah, they don't stick to that. So anyway, much better. That looked a little dirtier in the camera than it does in person, but I promise it looks pretty good in person. Okay, it still looks dirtier on the camera than it really is, but anyhoozle, that's all the cleaning I'm doing for this side of it. And I will keep the other side this color too, so we'll get to do the other side a different way. Let's kind of plan this out. I was hoping this would fit in camera better. Let me give you a kind of an overall shot. This is what the suitcase looks like. Decent sized, medium-ish suitcase. Let me get the measurements real quick because I know someone will want to know. It is roughly almost 21 by, we'll go 16 by 21-ish. Just easy measuring there. Let's see if I can bump this up to put it on the cigar box and see if that will help get us a little bit better of a view. Oops. Probably not going to help a whole lot, but maybe that'll help a little. Okay, I think that did help some. Okay. All right. And let's kind of lay out what my plan might be. Oh gosh, I can't, let me get my glasses. I can't hardly see the comments. I didn't expect anybody to be on since I didn't send out text alerts. Okay. Hola. Hello, hi. Hello everyone. Okay, I'm planning on using this, I don't know how to say this word. I say cerulean blooms, but I think it's, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna use this transfer. I'm gonna use probably just one of the pieces in here. Hi, boss. Okay. Not sure which sheet of it I want yet. And I've got a stencil. And, oh boy, I had a cow out here too. If you don't know me, oh, there it is. We have cows. I love cows. So I think we want him on this side. I probably won't be using that postage there, so we can cut that off so it's not distracting me. Okay. And this cow is from the transfer called Golden Fields, I do believe. I think I only have one of those left in stock. And it is a good transfer. It actually comes with, I think 3 cows. Okay. And I think we'll do some of this floral. See which floral looks best here. And from what direction? And I really wish, kind of like that over here more. But I hate to cut off his ear. I don't know. All part of the planning here. Part of the process is figuring this stuff out. And do I want the flowers overlapping the cow or vice versa? And then I want room for my stencil that says, "Take me home, country roads." Okay. And is it all going to work? I think we'll make it work somehow. Okay, I think that's all going to work. Just got to decide, do I want the flowers on top of the cow or the cow? Which way? I think I want the flowers on top of the cow. Okay, I think we're going to go for it. I'm doing the cow first. See if I'm missing anything. Okay. Oh, Courtney, thank you. I didn't know you were putting links in. Thank you. Like I said, I think we only have one of these transfers left with this cow. And I assume I can order more, but I don't know that. I didn't look. Sometimes they're out of things. It takes a while to come back, or they don't come back at all. You just never know. I'm just going to get my little craft knife and cut that off. But I'm not going to show you my whole workstation here, but it is a freaking hot mess. So it's hard to find much of anything right now. I should honestly be cleaning in here instead of doing a live, but you know, where's the fun in that? So anyway, I just cut his ear off. Actually, I could have just overlapped that. Duh, why don't I just do that? That would be cute. All right, so I changed my mind. We're gonna go ahead and use it like that. It's just how I roll. So this is just the stick that comes with the transfers. If you've never done a transfer, they're pretty easy. Just rub them on. Okay, now we'll just do the rest of it. Okay. Yep, thank you. Okay. Okay, let's see how we're doing on here. If you start pulling up and it's not stuck down like that, just lay it back down and go over it. I usually start to work up a little bit of a sweat at this point. I'm probably gonna have to turn on my fan. I love his little heart on his forehead here. And those eyelashes are so sweet. Okay, and then I do use the polishing pad just to make sure it's good and burnished on there. Okay. And then let's go with, which floral was it? Not sure which one it was, so I think it was this one. I hope that's pretty close to that lip there. But I want as much of it as I can to fill up as much room as I can on here. I'm gonna have to cut out some of the corner. And I don't mind it overlapping my cowl a little. It's gonna overlap the ear quite a bit, isn't it? Okay, I would rather have to cut a little bit off than to be short, so. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it and see where it's falling. See if I'm happy with that. Oops. Okay, that might not be perfectly cut. Of course it's not, but I don't want to cut into my suitcase either, so I'm gonna cut it with scissors now. Okay. Okay, I think I'm gonna be happy with that, I hope. I hope. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. I got lucky. Okay, you all heard that, right? You got to make sure you got that where you want it before you put it down. I just got extremely lucky. That touched down before I was ready. And luckily, I was lucky enough to get that to come back up. Yeah, this is tough to do. A big piece like this to get it lined back up in here where I want it now. Because, like, if this was glass, I wouldn't have got that back up. Like I said, honestly, I'm just lucky that came back up at all. And we would have had to just finagle it and hope for the best. Even where that's at, I'm up a little higher than I wanted to be, but we're just going to have to go with it. Because this is good and sticky, and if I tried to lift it up, you know, a lot of times if you try to lift it up like that, it's going to stick and you're just done. So I got extremely lucky. Thank goodness. Otherwise, I would have to been getting creative by probably taking some parts of the other transfer part and filling in different places, or getting some of my other transfer scraps out and going over and filling into places, which I've had to do it before. Not the end of the world. Sometimes it turns out pretty cool. But just know, I mean, that's a good teachable moment there that, yeah, don't try not to let that touch down before you're ready. Which on a bigger piece like this, it's really hard to do. Or it can be, especially if you're trying to line it up into a pre-cut area. Now we just rub our lives away, and it's a little bit harder to rub on or transfer on transfer. It takes a little more elbow grease. But it's so worth it. Hello, Doris. Hey, Jeannie. Okay. Just turned my fan on. Getting warm doing all this rubbing. It's so boring to watch and annoying to listen to. Okay, let's start seeing what we need to work on and what's ready to come off here. Ooh, that wasn't ready. Like I said, takes more elbow grease doing transfer on transfer here. What? Yeah. Nope. Oh my gosh, why did I come on and decide to do all these transfers? My hand's getting tired. But this transfer, this cerulean, however you say it, is one we have been out of for so long. So I'm so excited to get it back. At least in the maxi size, which is 12 by 12. So it has 2 sheets that are each 12 by 12. I've always thought it was so pretty. Like I said, we've been out of it for a long, long time. I didn't actually think we were going to get it back at all. And actually, I think we had it in the big tubes. And I don't think we're ever getting those back. So I will happily settle for this maxi size. And if you've never done transfers before, we do have the small packs that have 3 sheets that measure 6 by 12 in different designs that are, you know, much less rubbing at one time and much, you know, different. You can put them different placement, smaller pieces to get your feet wet. And also, if you're new to transfers or if you need a refresher, if I had painted this, ideally, they recommend you waiting 24 hours before you put a transfer on something freshly painted. So yeah, that is they like you to wait 24 hours before you put a transfer on something that you just painted. Now, when I'm doing that on a live, that never happens, but that is the rule we are supposed to follow. But this I didn't paint, so if you were here at the beginning, you saw me, I just cleaned it up. All right, let's do our little polishing pad here. I can see when I use the burnishing pad that it really picks up the texture of the suitcase below. So I know that is really doing that extra level of pressing it down in there. Okay, I had not thought to get out a paint for the stencil. Had not even thought about what color. So our stencil says, "Take me home, country roads," which I've done one very similar to this. Oh gosh, probably a year ago. Okay. Hello, Lisa Fox. So I got to figure out if I want to leave it like this, "Take me home, country roads." I could move it up a smidge. That would probably be okay. Or I could do "Take me home" and do "country roads" over here, but I think that would look wonky. So I think we'll just keep it here. I think I'm actually going to tape it down. Don't freak out. I know I rarely do that, but I think I'm going to do that today. Great, and my heat just kicked on. Too hot. I hope that's straightish, but I'm not feeling great about it. Okay, I think I'll probably go with brown for the paint. Okay, if I can, okay, let's just say I'm going to go with whatever I can find easily. Okay. Yep, okay, here's a brown. We're going to go with this brown here. And if I can find something to put it on. Just using a thick paint. This is actually impasto paint. And, oh gosh. I forgot that I would be trying to do a stencil today. Okay, I found a dauber. Okay, so let's stencil. Stencil, and get some paint on there and wipe a lot of it off. Oh, I better get my glasses back on. So, let's move you over there to the stencil. Hope my phone doesn't fall over. And let's dab it in there. I like the distressed look, so I'm not going for a real heavy coverage or anything. Like I said, this paint is super duper thick. So a little bit of paint. And, you know, you just pounce. You see what's on there, and then you know how hard to pounce, really. You get the feel for it. Don't want to pounce too hard, which, like I said, this paint is so thick, it's hard to get it squeezed up underneath there unless you got way too much paint on your dauber. Which, like I said, very little paint, little pressure, until you start running out of paint on there, and then, you know, I will apply a little more pressure when I'm low on paint. Okay. And I am wanting to make sure that is a little darker, a little more, that it's going to show up a little better because it is going on over a transfer. Again, I don't want it to bleed through or anything, so I got to be careful of that, but I also want it to be, you know, show up. I want to make sure it shows up good over the transfer. And if it's not showing up very good, then I'll have to do a highlight. I'll do a second color to make it stand out. But hopefully this is enough. But we'll see. Okay. I think we need to peek and see what's going on here. Country roads. Well, that's more than a peak, but I think I'm okay with that. Take me home, country roads. I think I'm good with that. So as not to mess anything up. We're just gonna quit there. I think I want to dry that, and then we're just gonna antique around the edges, I think is all I'm gonna do. Figure out where my heat gun is. There it is, right there. Like I said, I think the only other thing I'm gonna do is do a little antiquing around the edges if I can find a little brush to do that with. That's really not what I want. None of these are what I want, but this one might be okay. And then I want my umber paste, and we'll just antique around the edges, I think. And this brush is not in the best shape. Wouldn't be my pick if I had some better options, but it's doing okay. I just kind of wanted a small craft brush that would fit in that little crevice. If I wasn't live, I would take more time and find me one, but I just don't want to have you guys have to wait on me. And you don't have to do this step if you don't like the antique-y look. But to me, I don't know. That's kind of my go-to for everything. It's just my style. I just use my finger to kind of smooth it out. You could use your brush or a clean brush. And I don't know what I'm going to do on the other side yet. It might be Easter. Could be anything. It could even be Christmas, because I think this side could stay out all year. I've got a bunny paper of my designs that I want to use yet that would actually probably be perfect for this color background. And I've been wanting to use it, so maybe we'll use that on here eventually. And I think while I got this out, I'm gonna go ahead and go over the strings on here, because they're kind of dirty and grungy anyway. And what else am I gonna do with them? I can't really clean them up that much. I mean, I washed them with a wipe and that's all the cleaner I got them, but. So instead of fighting it, I'll work with it instead of against it. And I think this just kind of tends to warm up the whole piece. And then, I don't know, I'm thinking about going around the flowers with this also. Anybody got any thoughts on that? I might have to find a better detail brush for that, though, if I do that. Oh, I still need to seal, too. Because we do have a transfer on here, and transfers do need to be sealed unless they're on a mirror or glass. So this definitely calls for a sealer. Okay, I think we've made it all the way around. See if I got a better brush. I know I have a bunch of brushes cleaned, but they're still in the house. Ooh, that one is tiny. That one might work. It might be too small, but let's see. Did you guys even comment? Oh, let me see. Hello, Sandy. Is this a suitcase you already had in your stash? Yep. Thank you, Sandy. Yep, it's been in my stash for quite a while. I don't even remember how long, because I honestly haven't been anywhere to get anything for a while. Or I don't remember the last time I went. I know it's been quite some time since I've bought a suitcase anyway. Doggone it, I'm about to lose my phone. Sorry, I propped it up on something taller and now it's wanting to tip over. Come on. I know it's just gonna come toppling over here any second. For the love. Okay. As long as I don't move my phone again, we might be okay. All right, so I am just gonna do some really fine detail work, I mean. How will I display it? I have no idea. I have not a clue. And I don't know if I'll keep it or if I'll sell it. I really don't know. The other ones I have in my house, I have one maybe right in front of my lockers. One is just like, I just have them in front of things. Like, one's in my dining room. Well, and I wouldn't say they're all there now. This is just, different times I've had them in front of like a little, what do you call that? A little bench. Maybe I should do a post on that. Different places I've had this suitcases displayed. That might be a fun post to make. In front of my TV, on the floor, in front of the TV stand or buffet. Yeah, in front of this white cabinet, which means nothing to you, but yeah, I just have them around. You know, like the one has a vintage, or has an old barn on it. One has a winter barn. One says vintage on it. Maybe I said that already. And of course they rotate around the house. Trying to think what other. And of course you might have seen the vintage suitcases I showed a couple weeks ago, that those are all just stacked up. But yeah, these would be displayed differently for sure. I'm gonna go in and do some inside these flowers too. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. We went treasure finding yesterday, got way too much, but been busy all day working on them. Oh, that sounds fun, Sandy. I would love to see display ideas. Okay, well, I wouldn't say my ideas are great or anything. They're really nothing fancy at all. And honestly, I think my favorite is my vintage suitcases, but. And then I have, you know, some in here. Well, the ones I have in here are probably actually just stacked up. And they're ones that I've done on Facebook Lives, but I mean, they're actually ones I'm using for storage for stencils too. But, so they're really not on display like they should be. And I honestly can't think what other ones I have around the house, but hopefully if I dig around in my phone, I'll find some pictures. or I can walk through the house. I'm just finding some details in these flowers that I think I want to accentuate with the antiquing paste. Or antique paste. Make sure I'm calling it the right thing. So I think you can tell what I've done by looking at this flower versus this flower. I don't know how well that shows up on camera, but so my paintbrush is not holding up so good, but it really doesn't have to be because this is not a perfect science. I'm just getting it loosely where I want it to go and then smudging it in with my finger. And yes, these are very technical terms I'm using. Just kidding. And this is kind of time consuming, isn't it? But I do think this warms it up and gives it kind of an extra edge that not everybody else is doing. And I haven't done this in a long time. But I do so love the look. But you guys know I like to brown things down, grunge it up, whatever you want to call it. Antique it. Really does add depth to the transfer. Thank you. I think so too. I'm just glad it's coming through to you guys, because I when I look in the camera, I don't feel like I can see that it's doing much, or not, you know, what I'm seeing in person. But I'm looking at it on my little phone, so. Kind of some shadowing, if you will. Again, I'm sure there's better technical terms than what I'm using, but I am not a technical term kind of gal. That kind of thing goes in one ear and out the other with me. Highlights, lowlights, that all just does not compute with me. That's too much like school for me. My little brain does not retain that kind of stuff. And you can see my little brain is thinking this is too tedious, and I'm starting to get in a hurry. Do you carry the transfers? I do. I think we put in the link earlier in the beginning. I actually only have one of the cow transfer. I'm not sure how many of the floral one I have. But yes, we did drop in the links to those at the very beginning. And we will put them in the description when this is all over too. or when it's all over. When I get done with the video, I will go in and put the links to everything. But Courtney was here earlier, and I know, I think she put in the link to the stencil and the 2 transfers that I used. But I will add the link to the polishing pad and the umber paste. Or you can also go to our website and look up umber paste, and I think Golden Fields might be the name of the cow transfer, and Cerulean Blooms is this transfer. I think we have like 8 of them, I think. I was torn between using this one, and then we've got that great big green one in. I didn't know if it would be too big or not, the green one. So I think I have an even huger suitcase, so I may have to whip out that big green one on that one. Do something with it sometime. But this cow transfer, there are 3 cows on that one. So you get quite a bit of bang for your buck on that one. And this blue one, I used half of it. It's a maxi transfer, which means there are 2 12 by 12 transfers in there. And I just used one of them. So you could obviously do 2 suitcases if you did them like this. Or, you know, any other kind of project. Or one bigger project. You could do it on furniture too. And I actually had this cow left. It was the only one left. Actually, I had part of the black and white cow, but I couldn't find the other part of it. Because that one, yeah. Anyway, this was the only cow I could find to use on here. And I felt like using a cow, so. That I had in my stash that was, you know, a partial, without me having to open a new transfer. I was trying to use up some stuff that I have, which obviously I had to open this one, but. And this umber paste, don't let it set too long or it will not be movable. And then you'll have to use a wipe to move it, or if it sits really too long, you have to use like mineral spirits or I don't even know about mineral spirits, maybe, but a solvent to move it, or you're stuck with it, or you got to do something else, paint over it or something. But yeah, you don't have a whole lot of working time with it, but just enough. You just got to pay attention. But I just noticed that I had put some on and hadn't worked it in yet, so I just remembered to share that little tidbit. But sorry this is taking forever. I would cut out, but I need to seal this yet too, so which I guess I could end it and just tell you got to seal it too. But I feel like I've gone this far with you. We need to finish it and seal it together. Which you guys can dip out and come back to. I just feel bad when something takes this long. Just kind of tedious. But you're also seeing how long it really takes too. I do have a lot of sped up videos here on my channel, but when I go live, then, you know, it's real time. Here I think it's going to be a quick video, and never is. Okay, let's do a little bit around our cow too. I think we'll just outline him. Actually, I don't know that I will seal this on here because I feel like I want to let this set a little bit. Now, this does dry pretty quick, but I still probably want to give it 10 minutes or so. I don't know, I could probably start on this side and then this would probably be dry enough on that side. Ooh, I hope I don't lose my camera. So this brush is pretty well shot. I'm wondering if we should go around our letters too. Wondering if that would be a cool look. I don't think I've done that before. Got a little heavy there. Just taking a paper towel and getting that under control. Jeez, is anybody still here? Guess they're quiet. I'm getting lost in my own thoughts here. Okay, we're in the home stretch-ish, I think, here. Oh, you know what? I thought about it before I came live, but it is so stinking windy here. I'm very lucky that my internet has held up. It's been so windy all week. It was like, I am just going to have to go for it today and see what happens. Because I haven't made it live all week for various reasons, but a couple times was just because, like, I don't think my internet will hold up. Okay, I don't know what I think that might have been a scratch in there that looks like the antique paste grabbed into. Yeah, that looks better if I take that out. Okay. Because, yeah, this did have some scratches on it. Okay, that looks better. Okay, I was going to touch up something, but now I look at it, I don't see what it was, so I think I'm going to seal it. Oh, let's see. Just watching and learning. Does the paste smooth out that easily on all surfaces? I mean, this is, I don't know if you can tell, this is, oh, shoot. Whoops. Okay, I didn't realize it was leaning on the suitcase. Hold up. I got to resituate here. Got to find something with a little bit of weight to hold this thing down again. Well, let me just hold it up. I don't know if you can tell, it's a suitcase, so it's not perfectly smooth. There, you can kind of see that detail. So yeah, I mean, it's not a wax, it's a paste, but it's real close to a wax feel, if that makes sense. So, I mean, I'm not sure if I'm quite understanding your question, so if my answer doesn't make sense, that's why. But, so kind of like, I feel like the heat of our fingers smooths it out, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm not going to move the camera again. I'm going to try to keep just moving the suitcase. And I'm going to take a sip of water. I'm going to use my Fusion Tough Coat here for my sealer. Okay. And I'm just going to dump some on there and start sealing it. I was wondering how it would work on top of decoupage paper. Oh yeah, I've used it on decoupage paper. I've used it on everything. I love that stuff. I mean, it's probably going to be, you know, not quite this. I mean, I've used it on there. It's not going to be, I mean, quite the same, but I mean, I've never had any problem with it on decoupage paper, rice paper. I've used it on everything to brown it down. Yeah, pretty much if you've seen anything of mine that has any kind of browning down, it's usually this. Once in a while, it might be Fusion's antiquing glaze, if I need it to just be like very, very light. But yeah, it's usually this. Okay, I think we are sealed. And then, yeah, I'll probably take that tape off of there. Do something on the other side. And I'll be able to hopefully keep it. Yeah, I'll show you the paper. I'm thinking, well, because this paper I've been wanting to use. Well, shoot, I don't know if it's handy or not. It should be because I've been wanting to use it forever, but oh, there it is. Yeah. This bunny one is one I've been wanting to use. So I would have to do a lot of filling in though. So yeah, it probably won't go on this one, but if I have another one about this color, it might go on there. But I don't know. Ooh, I've got some excess sitting over here. I probably should I just noticed I had it a little thick over there. Okay, so I think that's it. Turn it around. But there is that. Not that you can see it very well. There, I think you can see it pretty good. Actually, I think the one I did about a year ago, I think I like it better. I'll grab it real quick too. It's green. I painted it green first. I'll show you it. But I used the same cow and a slightly different stencil. But here is the green version. You can see that one. And I think I like that stencil better too. But, oh well. Just another version. So, this is where I leave you. Just thought I'd pop in since I hadn't made it in all of last week. So, whoops, that dropped it. So, anywho, I hope you're having a fabulous Sunday. And I will try to get those links put in there. There's something in that suitcase. That one is heavy. I think it's stencils though. Okay, it's adorable. Thank you, Doris. Now, do you seal the top of the paper? Okay, I gotta put the glasses back on. Okay. Do you seal the top of the paper before using the paste? No. Nope. Just do it like this. You can do it the same order we did it here. Yep, seal it last. I know it feels, to me, I feel the same way. I feel like that paste should be last, but nope. So, you are welcome. I know, it just doesn't seem right to me, but I know I have asked, I think probably more than once, because it doesn't, but it's not a wax, so, because I know when we do fine line crackle, I feel like it should be after it's sealed, but no, it's not. So, anywho, okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye.